Okay, it's worm feeding time. So I've got a can of all the stuff, produce, the tea leaves, the coffee grounds that we've been using lately. And I'm going to feed my worms. First, gloves. Didn't used to use the gloves, but I cut myself on an eggshell once, so I've been careful since then. Would you like to see the wiggly worms I got in here? Look at them. Yeah. They're light shy, so they're going to start moving. Okay. Now, what I've learned is that when I first got my worm bins, I was told, pull back a little bit of dirt. Come look at all these worms. Whew, look. I pull back some of the paper and the dirt and put the food in. I've since decided and learned I just dump it on and stir it up from there. This is nice to have gloves for too. It gets gicky. I've got some onion. I've got artichoke, last night's dinner. Coffee grounds. I do tear up the paper filters. And I happen to use unbleached filters. Let's see, and I've got tea grounds. I've got a little bit of eggshell, but I don't put much eggshell anymore because it is pretty slow to decompose in here. And I spread it around. Oh, I've got a little bit of mushroom. It's a good use of old mushrooms. Some dead carrots. I only put in tea bags and this kind of paper if there are no staples. Worms don't eat staples. Remember, they don't have teeth. Ha, ha, ha. Got some tomato. Oh, that was a pear. That was tonight's dessert. So it's kind of stirred up and mucked up. So now I'm just going to turn all of this over. And it's pretty wet down there. You can hear it going squish. And I don't think it was the worms that squished. And it's also a little on the stinky side. So I'm going to work again to put more paper in this. That helps absorb the water and make more bedding for the worms. It also helps keep down the fruit flies because they can't find the fruit or the vegetables. At least that's the theory. There, that's going to help aerate this. I've got holes in the bottom of this bin, and you need those to help keep from creating an anaerobic condition. Now, the directions I got for doing a worm bin wanted me to put all my food bits into a blender and whir it up. I don't, because I get tired of washing my blender. But it does mean that some of these things are a little harder, will be slower for the worms to process. All right, so it's time to put a little extra newspaper in to help absorb some of this water. I have sticky labels, mailing labels that I'm going to tear off because worms don't seem to like that. And other things that worms don't like about paper or cardboard are shiny cardboard, shiny paper with lots of color ink. My paper didn't have lots of color in it. And I just tear it into strips. If I were making this bin from scratch, starting again like when I make that one all over again, I would get my paper wet first. This is wet enough. So this is like a sponge I'm making. All right, so I'm going to just kind of stir this in a little bit to help absorb that moisture. I need to be careful to not let it mat, though, because that caused some problems before. Okay, I think that'll do it. All right, that's how you feed your worm bin.